Hi, I'm going to present to you today a 4-bar mechanism which is commonly used in pumps, car engines, and compressors. Here is the mechanism. We have 4 links, including the ground link, 3 revolute pairs, and 1 sliding pair. The first revolute pair is the ground and the crank. Here we have a motor here that will rotate the crank 360 degrees, and on the other end of the crank we have the second revolute joint, which links the crank to the connecting rod. Now the crank will rotate 360 degrees, but the connecting rod will only oscillate up and down. The third revolute pair is the connecting rod and the block. We have the revolute joint just behind that block. And finally, the sliding pairs between the block and the ground. So our 4 links are the ground, the crank, the connecting rod, and the block, and our rotating joints are here, here, and behind that block. We have also here, which represents a container, which is not part of the mechanism. This container can contain either gas or liquid, anything. So we'll take, for example, water. We have these 2 valves here. The lower valve can only let water flow from the tank here to this area here, and the upper valve will let the water located in this area to go outside. Now let's see how this mechanism works. Now we can see here the crank rotating 360 degrees, the connecting rod oscillating up and down, and the block sliding left and right. So to understand what this mechanism does, we have to imagine here that this is a closed area, so just like a tank, and that when the block slides, it does not let any air pass on its side, so it takes the whole area of the tank. So the first step is when the block will slide that way. This will here create a vacuum. Now this vacuum will lead to this valve opening and the water going into this area. Then when the water is here, the block will slide back again, and this time it will compress the water. Now this will lead to the lower valve closing and the upper valve opening, and so the water flowing to the outside. We have the exact same mechanism in car engines, but it is the opposite reaction. What we have is, this is a piston head, this is a piston. What we have is an explosion here, which will lead the piston head to slide this way, the piston then here to rotate the crank, which will rotate the crankshaft, This movement can be transferred to the wheels. You can find the whole analysis of this mechanism in my report. Thank you.